All right, Aaron Whitlow.
Brandon Spivey,
We are the Good.
Markout movie podcasters.
And on today's episode, we are going to be discussing 2017's Thor Ragnarok from Marvel Studios. But before then, we're going to hit you with a little bit of that good old fashioned what we watched. Um, Brandon has watched a lot of stuff, not so much. Um, but I will discuss what I have watched. And the first thing to discuss this week that I've watched was Stranger Things season 4, which is by far the best season of Stranger Things, in my opinion. Brandon, have you watched it yet?
2 years. I'll watch it in 2 years.
Why?
I just will. That's about
No,
when I'll get to it.
is it because you don't have a Netflix no more?
After the 16th, I won't have it until August or September.
Oh, why 2 years then?
Oh, because my TV show schedule, I'm in the 70s and 80s and early 90s. I'll get. I'm weird, and I'm weird. I'm currently watching In the Heat of the Night and Step by Step. I got the Waltons, I got Baywatch, I got Dallas to watch. I mean, these are really long shows. Just it's gonna take me about 2 years.
Brandon,
I'm in
Stranger
the
Things.
past, man. I'm in the past.
You way in the past. You're in like
But I've never
the where
seen
the
them.
screen, you're in the part of the in television where the screen is cut off in the edges because of the frame of the television was smaller. That is what you're watching. A bunch of shows is going to be like that. Say goodbye to full screen television unless they stretch the image. Brandon, what are you doing? You madman. Um, well, hopefully, whenever you get to the 2000s, you will put "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" in your rotation because that's a great show as well. Um, but yeah, I think about that because it starts off with the type of framing like that for television, but then it widens out as the show continues to get go on. It's like it lasts for like 15 seasons. I think it still
Good
has no
lord.
season. Yeah, it's a long show. It's a great show though. But yeah, no, I watched Stranger Things season 4, and boy, do I love it. This is the without spoilers, very very much has that Nightmare on Elm Street vibe to it. Just really a
Mr. England,
fun.
right?
Yeah. Well, we do get to see that good lad. But no, it's just a great season. By far, is one of the best seasons of Stranger Things. Um, and so I've watched that. I've gone back to watch The Boys. Newest season has already dropped on Prime, but I was going back to kind of like watch it up to the newest season. And so far I'm on like just episode 1. But I just started this journey. But I may forego that and just go ahead and skip to season 3. I think that they're releasing them by like twos or whatever. Um, I might be wrong on that. And then also Kenobi on Disney Plus, about Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Brandon won't see none of these shows for like 2 or 3 years. Um,
Unless we review them and then you force me to watch
no, I know.
before I get ready
Well,
to.
well, of course, I'm forcing you to watch the Marvel Studio show.
Yeah.
Uh, that is so. At least I get my way with that. Um, but yeah, that's what Aaron Whitlow has watched this week. So far, what I've loved the most is Stranger Things season 4. I know I'm going to love The Boys because that show never fails. And I don't know if the embargo has. I don't think the embargo has been lifted for me to discuss Miss Marvel. I got to see a few episodes of that. through screeners, and I have some thoughts, but I cannot share it. I don't think yet. I don't think the embargo has been lifted for that. But yeah, Brandon, what you got?
What do I got? Well, as I said last week, I was starting a thon for Elvis to prepare myself for the biopic of the year. So I've been watching a lot of documentaries. What did you say?
No, I'm saying you're calling this. You go ahead. You're
I'm
already
calling it.
calling this movie the biopic of the year. This is Oscar worthy biopic. This is
Yeah,
the this
I
is
have no doubt
well,
Austin Butler is
well
going to win Best Actor at the Oscars.
with Hanks attached. It's Oscar bait. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about Tom Hanks. I heard he does a good job, but they're not saying he's going to win awards. They are saying Austin Butler's going to win awards. It's a Star is Born type of performance. That's what they're saying. And it got
okay.
a 12-minute standing ovation at the Canes Festival. So long
When's
as
it
that,
drop? When's it come out?
June 24th.
Is that is that
It's right
is
after
that under?
Lightyear. Comes out a week
But
after Lightyear.
it's a week before. It's a week after uh, Jurassic World,
No,
right?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks after. So
Yeah,
my
Lightyear
viewing
is
schedule
after Jurassic World.
coming up seems like I need to watch Maverick. I need to watch. If I watch Bob Burger, it's just because I have a morbid curiosity to watch this movie. I bet you it's pretty bad, but I don't know. Some people, I don't know. I've read any reviews on Bob Burger.
I haven't seen
The
it myself.
the show is. I kind of watched a couple of episodes. But the show for me is hit or miss. I'm not a big fan of Bob Burger. The show.
But you want to
Um,
see it.
I'm curious to see what the movie would be like. It's like The Simpsons. I'm a big fan of Simpsons, but I don't think that the movie really hit for me.
What
Um,
about the new Beavis and Butthead movie that's coming to Paramount
oh,
Plus?
that should be great because I don't know. I love Beavis and Butthead Do America. I thought that was an excellent
Yeah.
movie. That's
Now
fun.
they're going to space, though. Everybody goes to space.
Everybody goes to space at one point, Brandon. If you don't make it to space, you haven't made it in this industry. Uh, all we need is Hogan to make it to space, and then
We don't
he'll
need
be
Hogan to
king.
go to space. He'll never come back.
But
But
uh,
as far
yeah,
as
what do you want?
films that I've watched, I watched Men yesterday, which to me,
A24. Okay.
yeah, it's A24. To me, it's the weirdest film of the year.
Even weirder than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I have to say yes. And just because it's weird doesn't mean it's good. I'll say that. I didn't have a good time with it. It felt like the director was just wanted to degrade men. Of course, it's called Men. I had no idea what it was, though. I didn't watch any trailers for it. I just knew it was this new horror film that came out. So I gave it a chance. I didn't really like it. It's weird.
Does it feel like horror?
Certain scenes.
Or does X feel more like horror?
Now what? What was
Or
that last?
does X feel more like horror?
X feels more like horror to me than this. This felt, I don't know, like I can't really compare it to anything like they've done. I mean, it didn't really feel like The Witch. That's what they call elevation horror, right?
Yeah.
These A24 films. It just,
Elephant horror. Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't. It just didn't fit. And I left the theaters like, okay, that happened. I'm gonna go see Top Gun because I know that's gonna lift my spirits. And I went and watched Top Gun Maverick. Spectacular. That's all I got to say. Not just Tom Cruise returning, the whole story. What's his name?
No spoilers.
No. The guy from ER. That's in the first movie.
Don't spoil it, Brandon. I know what you're about to say something. I know it's a weird. I know it, but I don't need to know it. I understand. You're gonna spoil it, Brandon. Don't do it. You talking about Carradine? I think he's a Carradine.
I don't
I
think so.
might be. No, he's not Carradine. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. From ER, he played one of the main doctors. He was really good in this show.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Anyway,
and also Revenge of the Nerds. He's in the first one.
yes, he's Revenge of the Nerds. I don't know how to explain it without saying what it is, but if
Okay,
you've seen the movie,
but
you
you
know
like
exactly what I'm talking about. I can't say it. It's spectacular though. It's very good. It made me emotional. Um, it's thrilling. It's everything. I think it's better than the original movie. If you can believe
Jeremy Johns. Jeremy Johns said that it has no right to be as good as it was.
it, it
I think
doesn't.
it's I think it's a direct quote from Jeremy Johns.
36
So
years after the fact, it shouldn't be this good. It really shouldn't. But it was. I was. It's in my top 5 of the year right now.
woo, okay, Brando. All right. Yeah.
But that's all
Hello.
I've seen.
You hyped it up. All
I
right. Well, we will. I will. Hopefully, maybe tonight I'll watch. I'm gonna try my best to watch the original because I got to go in order. Your thing is to watch stuff from like decades ago, and like and
it
watch
shows that
the whole circuit. No, you do this. You watch the
I've
whole
never seen
circuit.
it though.
No. But I'm saying my thing is, dude, my brother, I love you to death, but I got to talk about you. You have the
Go ahead.
you have
Everyone else does.
you have you have so for instance, when you was watching WWE Network, did you not watch like the beginning of WWE when it's like WWF and stuff? And like
No, I didn't. Not when I
how,
first got
like, where else you got? Like you started somewhere, and I know you said you are
what
family
I
in the
did
night.
originally. What I did originally, I watched the ECW pay-per-views in order. Then I went all the way back to like 1983.
Mhm.
Started with the NWA pay-per-views because they didn't really have their shows on there. And then WWE had a couple shows like Saturday Night's Main Event when I originally got it. So I did watch it in order after the ECW, and I got all the way to 2000. Then my life
Like
crumbled.
then
I
your
haven't
life ended up
back.
like ECW.
Yeah, I haven't went back and watched it. I've watched a couple pay-per-views and the Stone Cold podcast, but I
Well,
haven't went back and watched like I
well,
was.
I've I was doing it on the WWE Network at the time. I did go and watch all the Royal Rumbles. I watched all the WrestleManias at that to that point. I watched all the Survivor Series because those were my big three, and then SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah,
So I watched those, but no, I mean I can't blame you because as you know, I've watched Star Trek and I watched them in chronological order as to when they take place in the timeline. And I will probably do that when I go back eventually and start watching Star Wars universe stuff again. I'm gonna probably watch everything like in order as to where they land. Although I'm biased because well not biased. Well I guess biased because I don't watch the animated Star Wars stuff and I know a lot of people probably like bash me. I just don't I don't really find the if I don't find the animation interesting, it's hard for me to watch it. If the animation style like gets on my nerves, that's what I think is my issue with Bob's Burgers. Is I don't like the animation style. I think that it's not appealing to the eye, so it's hard for me to watch them. You know, they
yeah.
look cheap.
See,
Whereas, yeah, like I love Duncanville. I think the animation is great. Plus, it's very funny. Ty Burrell does the voice of the father. So, yeah, and I started watching that, and I did watch the rest of Young Rock. I forgot I did watch Young Rock. So I
I
was
haven't
like
seen Young Rock.
one
They took,
episode left. So
they took season 1 off of it, so I was like, okay, I'll watch it at some point in life because I was curious about that one, but I didn't get to, you know.
is it not on any other? Is it not on Paramount or no NBC? Peacock is not on Peacock.
It's season 2 is, but
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
for most shows that are currently going, once that season ends, they take it off. I
Hmm.
I don't know why. I don't,
I did finish Young Sheldon. I don't know if I mentioned that last week, but I
No,
did. Yeah,
still
I
watching
said
it.
I liked it, and I enjoyed it. I thought that it was a great show. I can't wait to see what happens next. So we're aware if you watch Big Bang Theory, you know that Sheldon's dad dies when he's young, and so everything it seems like it's leading up to that moment, and so it's just that when does that happen? What you told me?
I
You
thought you were
mentioned
going to say he died
no no no
this
no no
season.
no. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, great show. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into unless there's anything else, Brandy, you want to mention.
No, no. There won't be any like for me next week. I won't have anything that I watch new because nothing new came out this week. So theatrically, I mean,
It's gonna be all Elvis for you.
yeah,
All Elvis.
I'm starting the biopics next Monday. I think
When are you gonna get to 68 special?
I already watched it.
Let me ask you, because I heard that was like one of his best specials of all time. I've seen only when he did uh if I could dream,
Oh yeah,
um which was which is one of it's my wife's favorite actual ever song. Um, but how was the whole special, and what was the importance behind that?
I think the special. I do agree that it's one of his best. You know, I know the whole backstory with it. He almost didn't do it. He got scared. You know, he had stage fright. He had stage fright his whole career, and he just thought he didn't have it anymore. You know, because he did movies all through the '60s and did songs he didn't believe in, and but it is one of the best performances he's ever given from what I've seen. But as far as the "If I Can Dream" song, that came about with what was happening in the world. You know, Martin Luther King getting shot, Malcolm X. You know, it was the point of that song was for all of us to come together,
Hmm.
and that was the importance of it. And he also said it came off more like gospel to him, which is the direction he wanted to go in. Of course, his manager Colonel Parker wanted him to do what he's known for is rock and roll, but he wanted to go in more gospel. That's
Well,
what he really wanted to do, and he was just pushed in other areas. But I think that was pretty much as far as that song goes. That's why he did the song.
I'm talking about the importance of the special. I believe so. The 68 special was exactly his comeback because at that
Yeah,
point,
it was.
I
Yeah,
think that he has fallen off from his younger fame,
yeah,
and this still is before we get to the 70s Elvis, the more caricature form of Elvis with the big chops and the capes and things like that, the more theatrical Elvis. But I think that was his resurgence. Like I remember watching the Elvis biopic, the one with the suede case. You know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
the
yeah.
latest one that came out.
2005. Yeah, the last
Yeah.
one they did.
So there's like several different Elvis films. I've never seen the one with Kurt Russell. I've never seen the one with that one guy that played in the original. Uh, was the original Hairspray, who kind of looks like Elvis. Uh, and then, but this last one with Ray's Davis or something, I forget his name. Uh,
John John something Myers, I
I think,
believe.
yeah, okay. But yeah, that one was I thought was pretty good, and it
Yeah.
shed some light on Elvis. But yeah, the '68 special, which they did a great version of it in that movie. Um,
Hmm.
uh, uh, it should be interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you, Brandon. The Elvis film is an anticipated movie for me as well, and hopefully you'll allow me to go to the movies with you to watch it. I don't know. You might
Yeah.
want to just do it on yourself, on your
I mean,
because you're a fanboy.
I'm planning to go at least 3 times to see it. I'm planning to see
Jeez,
it. What?
seriously?
Oh yeah, I'm planning to see an IMAX with Dawson in July at some point. But yeah, I plan to see it at least 3 times.
Hmm.
Definitely seeing it opening day. Might see it twice over there. I was actually thinking that I might come there live with you on that day, and then after go see it that night. I'm just thinking. I don't know. But
Yeah, we'll see. We
talk
have to
about it.
see what happens here at the house of Whitlow because it's craziness here. Uh, but I'm not saying that. All right, let's get on to some more craziness, which is Thor Ragnarok. Uh, Imprisoned on a planet Sakaar, Thor must race against time to return to Asgard and stop Ragnarok, the destruction of his world, at the hands of the powerful and ruthless villain Hela, which we know that Hela is Thor and Loki's older sister. Uh, this
Yeah.
movie stars Chris Hemsworth again as Thor, the world's mightiest Avenger. Uh, Tom Hiddleston is back as Loki, the world's coolest villain. Actually, I love Tom. I love Loki more and more that I get to see him. Kate Blanchett joins us as Hela. We got old Mark Ruffalo return as Bruce Banner. Idris is here again as Himdall. My boy Jeff freaking Goldblum as Grand Master, and there's Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and there's so many other people in this. Anthony Hopkins, um, I think Taika Waititi voices Korg.
Yeah.
Uh, Benedict Cumberbatch pops up.
I
Um,
really forgot about him in this movie.
yeah, me too. Uh, but yeah, you got the numbers.
I do. I do. I do. It's got a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb, 74% like it on Metacritic. It's got an 85% on Google, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, with a 87% on the audience score. So it's certified fresh.
Man, this movie, Brandon, the is it gives us the Thor that we wanted. I can only speak for myself. The Thor that
But
I
I,
wanted.
I want to ask you a question because when I was
Yeah,
rewatching it last night, actually, I was seeing how everything looked, and I thought to myself, you know what, this gives me off of like it's in the Guardians of the Galaxy like universe instead of what we've seen before in Thor. Did you feel that way?
yeah, absolutely. And matter of fact, while I was watching it, I wondered, and I'm just trying to confirm it now because I honestly didn't look it up. Taika Waititi directed this movie.
Yeah,
Um, I was like, well, I love Taika by the way. He's a brilliant director. I love What We Do in the Dark, or What We Do in the Shadows is a great show, great movie as well. But yeah, uh, so it it felt like a gun movie, one of
yeah,
like the James Gunn like
yeah.
type of movie. That's what the vibes I was getting the whole time. And I was wondering, I'm like, did James Gunn direct this? But uh, but it's hilarious. I think that the humor, the humor, uh, his humor is different from the humor that James Gunn
Yeah,
would
yeah,
do. Like Taika, there's a scene where like a lot of little quick little uh he loves quick cuts or quick transitions. Like for instance, when Thor is in the chair and we get the Stan Lee you know cameo, he's like, stay still. The hand isn't what it used to be, and he's just, do not touch me. I am the son of Odin, and blah blah blah. And then like then like when he presses the thing and all the bells and whistles start going on his hand, and he's like, please sir, don't cut my hair, please. It's just like that quick change, and it's just like I think it's more of a Taika Waititi type of comedic element,
yeah,
that
yeah.
that's little, which I love that, man. What were your thoughts on this?
I thought, coming from the dark world to this, it just felt like everything completely changed for the
Hmm.
better, obviously. But I did feel like we were like in a Guardians of the Galaxy like universe instead of like Thor's. So watching, I was like, I was a little confused by that. It's like because I never noticed it before. It's like but I liked it. I like the story. I have an issue with Anthony Hopkins just evaporating like he did. But I thought he delivered some good, um, not really dialogue, but he made you feel, especially when Thor, when he actually became the God of Thunder, later on. Uh, I felt that, and so I think I care more about Thor in this movie than I ever have. So finally, he stepped up. And I actually was going to ask you this: does Thor only work with a big cast? Can he work
Hmm.
by himself? Because that's become the debate as of late.
Um,
Thor,
yeah,
especially the
well,
last one, and now he's got an ensemble cast in this one.
yeah,
Does he
let,
help?
let me say, well, first, let me mention what you mentioned on Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah,
I've seen parallels with him as a father with dementia or Alzheimer's almost. That's the type of vibes I was getting from him, where, when he mentions, speak to your mother, all the time or whatever, and he's kind of looking off into the great beyond, and remind like a senile type of father
yeah,
that's like at the end of his life. And I wonder if that was a commentary on dementia and Alzheimer's at all. But yeah, I thought Anthony Hopkins did a good job for what he was. I think Anthony Hopkins needs to get more credit than it's than he usually does. And and it's going to bridge into your question. So because Anthony Hopkins played he played Odin as Odin, but then he also played Odin as Loki playing Odin. And so uh, and the way he played it as Loki playing Odin was was great. You could tell his mannerisms was different. The way he was eating grapes, the
yeah.
way he was just kind of like living lavishly. And then when he sees Thor, he's like, "Oh shit," And you know, it's like really. I actually laughed out loud when it happened because because when you think about Sir Anthony Hopkins playing this role as if he was actually Loki, and he's mimicking Loki and what Loki would do. It's
Yeah,
so funny. But to answer your question, I would say that Chris does. Chris is like Doctor Strange, but he, in the sense of yes, he does need a good cast around him to kind of make him shine. But I don't think he needs the cast as much as say a Doctor Strange does, because I
I
feel
agree.
Doctor Strange needs the cast more. But honestly, the star of the show every time, and it's going to hurt me with the new Thor film, is that there is no Tom Hiddleston, as far as I know. I just
It's not listed.
yeah, not listed, but it's just like it sucks, man, because it's because uh, his character has grown so much from the first time we see Loki, and he was one of my favorite parts in this film. I love the scene where he's aware that when he's aware that the Hulk is on this planet and he's like wanting to leave. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta leave. But then like when Hulk smashes Thor like he did Loki. I love how Loki was like, yes, now you see how it feels. Just like just like the
I love
spite.
that
Like
scene. Actually, I really did. I bursted out laughing. I was like, yes. It was such a great scene, though. I mean, when Hulk shows up, Loki's like, I want to leave. He's like, I want to get out of here. And he was all comfortable with the Grandmaster until that moment. And then when he does that, I was like, yes. Now you know how it feels. It was so great. That whole fight was awesome, though. Like, it brought so much to the story, and seeing Hulk again, and he can talk. He's not Smart Hulk yet, and I still don't know how he became Smart Hulk. Really, it just happened. I think in Infinity War he's smart, if I'm not mistaken.
And
But
the thing is, this is my favorite. Honestly, it's my favorite version of Hulk.
yeah, yeah,
Because it's just like this is like Gladiator Hulk. You know, a guy that
mhm.
just like he's a champion. I love that he's like he said, go, go, leave Thor. You know, and then like Thor like gets zapped by the door. He laughs. He says, leave again. It's almost like a kid that like see somebody get hurt. Um, but yeah, it's just like I just love the chemistry with them. I honestly think that when Mark shows up, when Banner actually shows up, it it, it takes a step back because you're like, man, I kind of miss Hulk. Like honestly, I missed Hulk. Although it was you gotta have Banner. Banner has to know what has happened, but they also this is also the downward spiral with the Hulk character, Brandon, because um, we know that we're not going to get the Hulk that we really want.
No,
Maybe
no,
not She Hulk. Maybe that's when we start to. I don't know. I don't know. So
yeah. But I did love that whole fight scene, especially when he comes out and Thor's all excited. I know him. He's my friend.
he's my
And,
friend
and
from work. He's my friend from work.
yeah, and then Hulk's like, Banner. It's like, no Banner. What? It was so, the dialogue was so well done. The action was so well done. It was just a great action sequence with
I
some good
love.
comedy, and
I,
it was perfection.
I love the sun's going down scene. Sun's
Yeah,
going down. Like he tries that, and it looks like it's working. That's that Taika Waititi touch because it looks like it's working, and then like Hulk just smashes him. But yeah, it's just like I loved it, man. And then like we did see Hulk butt, and but Thor seen Hulk front, so he says I can't unsee what I just saw. Yeah, but it's a great little movie. Let's talk about your boy, my boy, the one and only Jeff Goldblum.
oh yeah, Jeff. So he. What can you say?
He
Honestly,
could be Jeff Goldblum and it works.
yeah. Just put him in anything and let him be Jeff, and it's magic. Wherever he touches, except Independence Day Resurgence, it's magic.
Well, they didn't let him be Jeff in there. They wanted him to be the doctor again.
Yeah,
Like because he was more down back version of himself in there. But in here, he was just he's literally Jeff Goldblum in space. You know, he's just like. Um, but I loved how he's like, hey, he said, hey cousin, so you robbed me. I'm sorry, I pardoned you. And then like he kills his cousin, and
yeah,
then like that kind of looked like, oh well, shoot, that he'll kill me. You know, he's just like he said, and I love the end credit where he's like, all right, so congratulations on your rebellion. You know, we all need rebellion, and we all play a role. You know, because you need to have a dictator to overthrow, and good for you. Let's just say it's a tie. It's just like, oh man, just like, oh,
he's also in Love and Thunder. So
ooh,
I'm curious to see where he's at now. Is he a slave? And I love that part in the movie too. No, 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 don't call it that. That no good. It's a and I forget what she actually said. Prisoners that work better. That's better.
it worked.
Not the S word though. I
Yeah,
just love how he man he's gold with everything in this, and he's one of the, like he's a villain, but you cheer him. He's like Loki in that sense. You cheer for him, and you don't
yeah,
want to see anything happen to him. I can't wait to see him in the next one.
yeah. I do want to also mention. So Carl Urban as Scourge.
Yeah,
He he I now I know him from the boys, and it didn't even dawn on me until like I was like watching this one again. and I was like, oh, that's the dude from The Boys.
You know what I was
That's
thinking when I
that's
first time I
Butcher from
watched
Boys.
this?
What?
I was like, oh, that's the guy from Doom.
He was in Doom.
Yeah, with
The
the Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, that's like he's the good guy from Doom. Oh, that wouldn't go over well today to say that. It's like he's done a lot since then. I think
Doom
more
is
people
terrible.
say he's Judge Dredd today. If not the boys, he'd be Dredd.
Oh, he is Dread.
Yeah,
See, he did such a great job. I actually like that movie. I like that movie.
I just
But I
didn't,
think
but you know,
I loved it. It's like one of my favorite movies that came out that year. But yeah, I thought that he did a good job in this movie. He says, "I'm just a janitor." That's how I feel at my job sometimes. Like I'm just a janitor. But it's like when Hella came through and started killing everybody, which we gotta talk about it. She like
yeah, we
totally
got
murked
to her.
all. She totally murked all of Thor's people. Um, and she not only murked all Thor's people, she broke Mjolnir. How you say that thing? Mjolnir.
Sounds good to
The
me.
hammer. She broke the hammer.
Yeah,
Mjolnir. I cannot say it. Anyway,
Thor's hammer.
the hammer. But yeah, so she is. eh, Oh man, Kate Blanchett did a great job as Hela, and Thor's older sister, man, she's not to be messed with.
I think she does a good job, but I also think she comes almost an afterthought in the whole movie. In ways, I mean, they are spending time with her, but for me, I can only speak for me. I wanted to get away from her and go back to Thor and Hulk and see what they're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
More
Like
to build her up as this big time villain. I didn't hate what they did with her or anything. I just wanted to rush through it to get back to Thor and them until the big battle scene or the fight that comes. But I thought she did a good job. I did like Carl Urban as well because he was just doing whatever he had to do to survive. He really, he didn't want to. I don't feel he wanted to do this,
yeah,
but
I'm looking. I'm just trying to see what other movies she was in. I know she was in Missing.
the
She's in
gift,
Lord of the Rings. The Gift is the one that I know her from the most with oh, Keanu.
Keanu,
Uh,
Katie Holmes, Greg Kinnear, yeah.
that's a great. I actually like that movie. Um,
I think she plays Queen Elizabeth too.
she's in Queen. She's in the Queen Elizabeth films. There's like I think there's two of them. Uh, but yeah, she's also in Alley, which I've never seen that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. She's in that too. She's honestly, I would have said back in the early 2000s, she was the top of the crop, and now I think she's a little underrated. A lot of people don't
mhm.
talk about her these days, but I think she's an excellent actress. It's honestly, I think she's like another one of those actors that wherever they touch seems to be gold. Doesn't matter what it is, she's just excellent.
And we mentioned so let's mention real quick Tessa Thompson, who
I love
plays
her in this.
Valkyrie. Did you like her in this? I know her from Creed.
Yeah.
She other things. She's actually her actual career has blown up a bit, and I'm happy. Although I know she did Men in Black
Yeah.
International, which you said that's pretty bad,
They don't have the same chemistry in that as they do in Thor. That's what I'll say.
which is a shame, right?
It is. I think it's probably direction. Um, no one seemed to have chemistry in that Men in Black movie. No one. It just, it didn't feel like a Men in Black film, really. It felt like an imitation of Men in Black. That's what I would say. And
She's in Passion on Netflix. She's on Sylvie's Love on Prime. Creed.
where the one of the women are living as a white woman, The Passing.
Yeah, yeah, Passion.
It
Yeah.
was actually pretty good.
I guess it shows that she's in Westworld, which I didn't know that. She's in Dead White People, which is a great little. If it's the movie, she's in the movie. There's a film version. She's in Selma. So she's had a nice little career. But yeah, in this movie, I love her as Valkyrie. I think that she is that soldier that that is suffering through the PTSD almost of having a lot of her friends and uh, work, crew die, and so she survived, and she also feels like she failed, and so she now does scavenger hunt to get paid and drinks like enough to buy her alcohol.
It's
Um,
her character. I don't know nothing about her in the comics, but her character seems like she would have meshed well with Sylvester Stallone's group in Guardians 2. You know,
yeah, I see that.
and who knows? Maybe she's done some work with them. I mean, she's a scavenger. Uh, I can understand why they're mixing the Thor universe with the Guardians in a movie because it makes perfect sense now. Um, at the time it was happening, I just didn't see it. I couldn't grasp it. Thor and the Guardians, in that same universe. I don't know why, but anyway, it's
I'm not.
what's that?
Oh, I didn't mean to play this. Uh, I was surprised about somebody in this movie, and I will have to mention it to you. But go ahead, continue.
I was just saying I really look forward to what they're gonna do in the next one. But I really was impressed with Tessa Thompson. I think this was before Creed, right?
Uh, don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was before Creed. Yeah, this is 2017.
I was want to
Uh,
say Creed was 2018, but I'm not really 100% sure. But
uh,
I'm more impressed with her in this role than the Creed films or anything
yeah,
else I've seen her in.
Creed is 2015.
Oh, 2015. Well, 2 years before. Uh, I didn't really like her in Creed. I liked her better in Creed too, but I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't like her all that much.
So
But
I want to mention something.
go ahead and mention it.
So Topaz, the lady played Topaz, Rachel House, who was in this movie, was Jeff Goldblum's like henchman
Oh yeah.
lady. My jaw dropped because I had no idea this lady did the voice of Moana. Like
The
what?
animated movie.
Yes,
Oh no, the Disney movie. Okay,
this is Moana. She does
that's
the voice of Moana.
that is shocking. It is.
I wonder,
It is shocking.
like,
Her voice.
so I wonder if she also did the singing voice, or is it more of just the?
I would say so.
Oh no, no, no! Oh no, it shows somebody else. No,
Uh,
no. She's not. She's not the voice. She's in Moana, but
uh,
she plays the grandma
makes more
Tala, and
sense.
that makes
That
more
makes more
sense. That's what shocked me. I was like, whoa. I was like, hey girl, that got a voice on her. But no, no. I thought that she was pretty good. I just realized on this, like looking on this roster, Clancy Brown does the voice of Sorter. Sutter. You know Clancy Brown?
And I love Clancy. I
Uh,
absolutely love the guy. He's
he
amazing.
he does the voice of Sorter in this movie, which is pretty cool. Um, man, I'm glad. He's one of those guys where I'm just glad to see him working, like in any aspect,
He's
man.
always working. He was in a video game that I have, Detroit Become Human. He was so great in that. He was in the show for like one episode, not sleeping, Sleepy Hollow. Well, he was like in one episode. Uh,
So
he's amazing.
so nobody talked about this. Uh, we're gonna talk about this too. So nobody talks about this. Zachary Levi, uh, he plays Fondrell in this movie. So he replaced the guy that played the same character like in the first film with
Yeah,
the guy that went on to be in like Happy Ever After, other shows like that. But yeah, he replaced him. So this guy is one of maybe two. I don't. I might be wrong. One of maybe two people to be in both a MCU and DCU film because he
Right.
was obviously Shazam. And
There's at least three. Michael
and
Rooker
another guy.
and Lawrence
Well,
Fishburne.
who else? Oh,
Lawrence,
Lawrence Fishburne.
he's in the next Ant Man. Ant Man and the
Yeah,
Wasp.
it's true. And then also the guy that played in Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy that he said Skylord. He said who? That guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The hunter dude. He is in obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's also in Shazam. He played
Yeah.
the wizard before Shazam, the pre Shazam.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool though. But Luke Hemsworth, Sam Neill, and was that Matt Damon?
Yeah, it was Matt Damon.
What's your thoughts on that, Brandon?
As far as the brother Hemsworth, I actually thought it was whatever. I actually thought it was the other brother. I don't know this other brother that plays Thor in the play, but I thought he did a pretty good job. But Matt freaking Damon, showing his comedy chops, which he rarely does anymore. But I loved him in this. I wanted a little bit more of that. I was like, man, show me more of this Loki. I loved it.
No,
I thought he was great.
Sam Neill showed his comedy chops. You realize this man had really been in uh,
Sam's not every.
comedy.
I mean,
Yeah, Sam, man. Like I know him from obviously Jurassic Park, but was he? I'm confusing him with someone else. He wasn't in Mrs. Doubtfire. It was
that's
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Uh, but yeah, I was trying to. IMDb is weird now. It doesn't really show you their movies like they used to. But yeah, I thought he was in another actual pretty good little comedy. But yeah, no, you're right. Matt Damon popping up in this movie because Matt has the comedy roots, bro. And
He just rarely shows it.
yeah, it was
Like,
good.
it honestly seems like he only shows it when he's working with Kevin Smith,
Mhm.
and he really doesn't. Like, he doesn't go for that.
Doesn't work with Kevin much.
Not since he became a household name. Really, he hasn't really worked with him a whole lot. But hopefully, I mean, I hope to see him pop in Clerks 3 or something that's really big for Kevin. I mean, Ben always
Well,
does.
Ben got his back, and Ben at this point is a bigger star than Matt, honestly.
Yeah,
Uh, but I'm glad they're still all cool. But yeah, and that they don't forget the roots of where they came from. Um, but yeah, I love that man. Idris Elba, he was.
I loved him in
I think
this.
yeah, I feel like I know that his character dies in Endgame, and that bothers me. But he did such a good job in this movie. Yeah, I think everybody did a really good job though. If I gotta give one criticism, I say Kate Blanchett kind of disappears amongst everybody else. Uh,
That's what I was meaning. She's kind of an afterthought compared to everyone else. But I mean, but again, this movie is loaded with people. It's why I asked the question: can Thor, run his own movie by himself instead of having a huge cast like they did? And they got another one coming up. I mean, Love and Thunder. It's huge. It's probably even bigger than this one. But yeah, she kind of gets lost in the shuffle, as they say. But she did her job well enough, I would say, with what she was given. She did good, But I don't know. She does get lost, and you really do want to see the other characters more than you want to see her.
you know what? I really like the interaction between Thor and Doctor Strange in this film.
Yeah, made
And
me forget Doctor Strange's movie.
yeah, it's just like Thor was like, "Stop doing that," where he's like swooshing them through the house to
Mhm.
different places. He still has the beer in his hand. It's just like and it keeps refilling. I love that. Yeah, I just love that whole thing. I love the bit of him calling for his hammer or his umbrella in that case, and you can hear like breaking up everything in the house.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm sorry," but
No, you
yeah,
said it last week that Doctor Strange works better with others
yeah,
instead of his own film. And, we can't talk about what's coming, but we can talk about what we've seen. It's absolutely true. He has
yeah.
worked better with someone else.
Don't
He
touch that.
works better in this movie than he did his own. That's what
Yeah,
we've seen of him.
yeah. But anything else? Okay. Anything else you wanted to mention?
I mean, yeah, I would like to mention Loki a little bit. Um, did you feel like he was given enough to do in his film compared to the first two? Or do you
Uh,
feel like he kind of took a back seat?
I think he took a back seat, but I think every time Tom was on screen, he stole it. Like literally every frame of film that he's in this movie, he steals it. He steals it. Uh, like he's the MVP of this movie. Honestly, he just. I gotta talk about this one scene. Let me see. Wait a minute. Hold up. I gotta talk about this one scene. Tell me if Oma's outside. You can look out there and see. See if you see her. Uh, but was I talking that way on screen? Did you hear
You
me?
were. You were.
Oh, I was interested to know if that worked. It did not work right.
It did not.
Uh, but yeah.
Who is this
So
person?
this is Zanzi, and I told her to see if her grandmother's outside, which
Uh,
is my wife.
your wife.
Yeah, she's out there with the weird neighbor. Anyway, I said that. I said that on the mic. Anyway, who doesn't
Nothing
watch
going
it?
on here. Nothing to see. She's just with a weird neighbor.
But no, I thought Tom did a great job. Every scene that he's in, um, he said I've been following for 30 minutes. But yeah, just like
Absolutely.
uh, he, wait a minute. Just the scene where and it has nothing to do with Tom, but the scene where Bruce Banner is like, "You wanted to know who I am? I'll show you." He jumps from the plane, and then like he lands on the thing, and it's like pretty much like a dead body. It's like it's
Yeah,
just like
I'm glad you mentioned it because a mutual friend of ours. I've never met him. I don't know if he used to live around here or not. But he's a mutual friend of yours. That's how I know him is because of you, Eric Mears. Um,
okay.
he commented on my post last night about that scene. He said he just burst out laughing when he sees that. When he says, "You want to know who I am? We'll show you who I am." And he just jumps off and he just flops. He says it's just the most hilarious thing he's seen. So I love that scene. It's great and it's funny that he doesn't turn into the Hulk as soon as he flops, like because he's supposed to be angry all the time. But I think it's a great scene. It's a lot of comedy. That is something I will say Mark did do well. He comes off like a moron in this movie at times. So I will
I,
say him playing it like that, he does it well. It's not the Hulk I want to see, but it
yeah,
worked in this movie.
I think that's also a credit to Taika Waititi's as a director because he's able to. Oh, and he's doing Love and Thunder as well.
Yeah,
Okay, Taika, that's what's up, bro. But
he
yeah,
would have been the Thor director.
oh man,
I
absolutely.
would be
Like
if I could, if I was Marvel. I mean,
yeah, but like his subverting comedy, like when people jump, like when he jumped, and you thought that he's gonna like land on the bridge, it's the Hulk or whatever, and he does it.
mhm.
I love it. And then you think about the scene where uh, Thor is sliding on the glass, like you hear the street noise. And then the scenes where Thor's like, "You, you can't stop me. I'm just God of Thunder and blah blah blah. And then like he gets shot. He's like, ugh. It's just like, you know, just like it's just funny because it's like the way that he leans into comedy. It
Yeah.
just shows his and he's with like especially like Jojo Rabbit. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I never did
Uh,
get.
Jojo Rabbit is one of my favorite films that he ever made, and it has comedy, it has heart, but it has uh, it'll make you cry. Uh, he's just an outstanding director. But yeah, I love like his mindset when it comes to like comedy. But yeah, back to old Loki though. Uh, we obviously know Loki steals the Tesseract
Yeah,
because that's his thing, man. That's his. He feels like that's his thing. It's his. It belongs to him. Why not?
but one of the I think the best scenes in this movie when it's Thor and Loki together is when Loki's going to betray him again. You know, and Loki and Thor, he's figured him out. He's done this over and over again, and he ends up tricking Loki. And I thought that was just comedy gold, how he tricked Loki. And he's like, "Brother, you're so predictable. I mean, you're always going to betray me, and I'm going to forgive you." And we go around in circles. I'm not exactly quoting it right, but that's the gist of it. And it's like, you're never going to change. But I love you. It was that's what I got from that. It's like, I love who you are. I don't want to change you anymore. I want you to be you. That's what I got from that whole scene in a comical way. I really enjoyed that scene with him too. How he tricked him and, but he had a heart with him when he was tasing him. It's like,
Yeah,
you are who you are. I can't change you. I don't want to change you anymore. I want you to be you.
yeah, and that's what's up, man. And I think that they work their chemistry out of everyone. Their chemistry is the best. Like
Oh yeah.
when they're together, you feel like that. I love how Loki used any opportunity to kind of get glory. Like when he's taking the people, he says, "Your savior is here." Did you miss me? Did you miss me? He still wants that fame and notoriety. Like you did this, you saved me, you did this, you made this happen. Um, but man, and I guess they call themselves the Revengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
just a
is
man,
pretty much finished. Although Thor probably doesn't really know it because he
he
wasn't
doesn't.
involved in Civil War. So, and Hulk definitely doesn't know anything. And I also
Yeah,
love that when he was watching the video of Natasha, I forgot all about that. I thought they just kind of skipped past that. But there was something there for him still. So they just didn't acknowledge it in Infinity War for whatever
a
reason.
lot of stuff happens in
Yeah.
Infinity War, but
I guess they just
man,
didn't have time. But
yeah,
yeah, I love the ending, like the end credit scene when Thanos is coming. The
yeah,
ship is right there beside their little puny ship, and
that's
Thor
where we
just
take.
said, "Everything's going to be all right. I believe everything's going to be good." And it gets really dark. I love that. I thought it was great.
We know that it does not get better.
Oh, it
No,
gets.
it's far worse.
Oh, it
But
gets.
I loved how Thor and Loki work together as far as defeating Hela, and with Ragnarok, bringing on
Yeah,
Ragnarok with the
and
dude.
Hulk tries to
The,
disrupt
the,
it.
I love that. All of that scene. That scene. I forgot that even happened, Brandon. I literally forgot that happened. Like I was watching it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's hard to see this, but we had to do what we had to do. If only just he can destroy her." And then like all of a sudden you like here, "Rah." He jumps up. He says, "No, no, Hulk, no, you big no." He's like, "Stop beating on him." And the guy just picked him up like a flea. He just like flicks him off,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "No, Hulk, no," and then Hulk says, "Big monster." Like the logic. What? It's a big monster. Like what? It's what we do, right? He's like,
That's the
he's
Hulk
like,
I love. I love that Hulk. Like he sees something that could destroy them, he's gonna go and smash. And
yeah.
I love when Thor's like, Hulk, no smash.
If
Hulk,
you
no,
could just stop smashing for 1 second.
you moron. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love that scene.
Big monster. Yeah. He's like, and he's like, and he runs and jumps and takes him. But yeah, I love that, man. I love that. I love that scene too with the rock dude. And he's like, because like Thor's like, so where you want to go? Meeper or whatever your name? Where you want to go? He said, oh, he's dead. Yeah, I should be carrying around his corpse. I kind of accidentally stepped on him. And then, like he goes back to life. Oh, fine. Oh no, what was your question? It's like Earth it is.
Earth it
Oh
is.
man. Uh, but yeah, I love how they use that thing to destroy. So because in the end scheme, she wasn't that important. She like it's more important because Asgard is the people, not a place. And
Yeah.
so they find that out. But man, boy, we know that most of those people obviously don't make it to the new Asgard.
No.
So
I mean, I don't really remember, but I was thinking, didn't he kill them all? Except for like Thor and Hulk?
yeah, I think so. I think he does.
I don't
Thor
really remember because my focus is on Hulk getting beat down and Loki obviously gets killed. And that's a way to start the movie. I mean, that's a way to start Infinity War. Man, that's a massive blow. It's two big blows, really.
And you know, honestly, we're because Infinity War is next week, right? We're
I thought we was doing Ant-Man and the Wasp.
oh yeah, forget about that.
Because it's basically happened at the same time. At least the ending is because the snap happens at the end.
Well, but Ant-Man isn't actually there during the fight, right?
No, he's not in. He doesn't come to Endgame.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do Ant-Man and Wasp, and then it's weird because you know obviously the end credit scene takes place after Infinity War, but everything prior to that takes place before Infinity War.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's in the end credit scene in Infinity War.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but
I don't think I don't no. I think the end credit scene in Infinity War is Nick Fury stuff. Nick Fury being then like the Captain Marvel pager. But yeah. But all right, you ready to go ahead and give our marks for this film?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie. I can't find nothing really wrong with it. I'm going to give it five Markouts out of 5. I know that we we ain't had not one comment, but I know that Bilfer would not like that. But it is what it is.
Oh, he didn't like this?
All right, I'll be out in a minute. But anyway. Okay, I'll be out in a minute.
Okay.
All right, but anyway. So yeah, I give 5 Markouts out of 5. What would you give it? I'm wrapping it up.
No,
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
What is it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. Why?
It's like it's not perfect. I think just the fact that Helena just is kind of gets lost in the shuffle, kind of loses a little bit to me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we thank you for marking out with us here on the Markout Movie Podcast. Sorry the ending of it, but we thank you for marking out. Have a great rest of your week. See you next week.
Peace.